LeBron James just made a decision that sent shockwaves through the NBA, but not for the reasons most expected. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. The 4-time MVP and 20-time All-Star officially exercised his $52.6 million player option with the Los Angeles Lakers for the 2025-26 season. That means LeBron is staying in LA. For now. But here's where things get interesting. Over his legendary career, LeBron has signed 9 contracts. 8 of them included a player option, giving him flexibility and control over his future. And until now, every time that option came up, he used it to explore free agency, renegotiate, or sign a new deal. This is the first time he's chosen to opt in.
Why?
What's the real motive behind this move? According to ESPN's Brian Windhorst, LeBron's decision to stay on his current deal may be part of a larger strategy, one that keeps his options wide open while allowing other teams to make their move behind the scenes. And that's exactly what's happening. ESPN's Dave McMenamin reported that Rich Paul, LeBron's longtime agent and CEO of Clutch Sports, received calls from 4 different NBA teams within just 24 hours of the announcement. These teams weren't wasting time, they were asking about possible trades for LeBron James. Now, to be clear, LeBron hasn't requested a trade. There have been no direct conversations with the Lakers about leaving. But the fact that multiple teams are already preparing offers says everything. The league knows that the window to land LeBron James, even at age 40, may be open for the first time in years. And the timing couldn't be more critical. Let's talk about where the Lakers stand. Since winning the championship in the Orlando bubble in 2020, the team has struggled. In 4 of the last 5 seasons, they've either been eliminated in the first round or missed the playoffs entirely. There's been drama, coaching changes, injuries, and a lack of consistency on the court. LeBron didn't come to LA to fade out quietly. He came to compete, to win, and to make history. He's already won titles with the Miami Heat, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Los Angeles Lakers. He's one of the only players in NBA history to do that with 3 different teams. But he's hungry for more. One more championship could cement his legacy in a way that no stat sheet ever could. And he knows time is running out. At 40 years old, LeBron isn't playing for MVPs anymore. He's playing for legacy. For immortality. And right now, he's carefully watching what the Lakers do this offseason. According to McMenamin, LeBron is fully focused on being part of a team that can truly contend for a championship. And Rich Paul made that clear, saying, "There are no guarantees in building a title team, but we know what one looks like. And we know what it doesn't." So, what exactly do the Lakers look like right now? Reports suggest the front office is shifting its focus to the future rather than going all in for the upcoming season. Instead of surrounding LeBron with win-now pieces, the organization may be preparing for a long-term rebuild, one that revolves around younger talent like Luka Doncic, who is already on the team. Yes, you heard that right. While it may sound far-fetched, there are whispers that the Lakers' dream scenario involves building a young core around Doncic. That's a vision for tomorrow, but LeBron is focused on today. And if the Lakers can't build a championship-level roster this summer, that's when the real drama begins. Because while LeBron hasn't asked out, and while the Lakers still hold his rights, the truth is this: the phones are ringing. Front offices around the league are watching closely. They know that if Los Angeles can't deliver, the King might decide to write his final chapter somewhere else, with a roster ready to chase that elusive 5th ring. Imagine LeBron in a different jersey for one final run. Imagine the headlines, the drama, the ticket sales, the viewership, the legacy. 4 teams have already raised their hands. But you can be sure that number will grow. Because whether you love him or hate him, LeBron James is still one of the most powerful forces in sports, on and off the court. So now, the pressure is on the Lakers. Can they build a team worthy of a legend? Or will they lose the face of their franchise at the very end? One thing is certain, the NBA offseason just got a whole lot more interesting. Stay tuned. The Los Angeles Lakers have finally made a move, and it's a big one. After weeks of speculation, after countless rumors circling the NBA offseason, the Lakers have pulled the trigger and signed former number 1 overall pick DeAndre Aton. And while it may not be the blockbuster fans were hoping for, this signing could turn out to be a game-changer, if everything goes right. Let's get into the details, because there's a lot to unpack here. Ayton is heading to LA after spending time with the Phoenix Suns, where he was originally drafted, and most recently with the Portland Trail Blazers. And now, the 26-year-old big man will suit up in the iconic purple and gold after agreeing to a 2-year deal worth $16.6 million with the Lakers. For the 2025-26 season alone, Ayton is set to make $8.1 million. The contract includes a player option for the second year, which gives him flexibility to re-enter free agency after just one season, if he plays well enough to earn a bigger deal elsewhere. But here's the kicker. Ayton is also getting $25 million from Portland as part of a buyout. So even though the Lakers are only paying him a modest amount by NBA standards, he's still cashing in big. From a salary cap perspective, it's a savvy move by the Lakers. They've secured a high upside center without eating up too much of their budget. Ayton comes with star potential, but also a long list of questions. Let's talk about what the Lakers are really getting. DeAndre Aton is 7 feet tall, mobile, and has shown flashes of being a dominant interior presence. At times, he's looked like a future all-star. But the problem is, those flashes are inconsistent. Last season with the Blazers, Ayton played in just 40 games. His averages were respectable: 14.4 points, 10.2 rebounds, 1.6 assists, and 1.0 block per game. He shot an efficient 56.6% from the field and 66.7% from the free throw line, logging over 30 minutes per game. Those are decent numbers. But they don't tell the whole story. Ayton's biggest critics point to one thing: effort. Especially on the defensive end. Yes, he's a solid scorer around the rim. Yes, he can rebound. And yes, he moves well for a player his size. But if you watch closely, if you look past the stats, you'll see a player who often disappears defensively. Someone who doesn't always contest shots with urgency. Someone who hasn't embraced the physicality needed to dominate the paint. And in Los Angeles, that could be a problem. The Lakers already have offensive firepower. What they need, desperately, is defensive toughness in the paint. They need someone who can be a true rim protector, an anchor. And while Ayton has the physical tools, he hasn't consistently delivered that kind of impact. In fact, across his 7-year NBA career, he's averaged just 1.0 block per game. That's not what you expect from a 7-footer with elite athleticism. Sure, he's capable in one-on-one post defense. But as a help defender, as a shot blocker, as a defensive leader, he hasn't proven himself. His defensive rating has been decent on paper, but it doesn't always translate to real impact when it matters most. So what's the upside? Well, it's actually pretty exciting. Ayton is still just 26 years old. He's entering what should be the prime of his career. And a fresh start in a high-pressure environment like Los Angeles might be exactly what he needs to finally tap into his potential. Think about it. He'll be playing in front of the biggest spotlight in basketball. Every move will be watched. Every possession will be judged. And he'll be surrounded by elite competitors, like Luka Doncic and potentially LeBron James, depending on what happens with his future. That kind of environment has the power to change a player, to motivate them, to hold them accountable. And let's not forget, the Lakers' development system has done wonders for players who needed a second chance. If Ayton buys in, if he embraces the challenge, and if he plays with urgency on both ends of the floor, this could be the most important stop of his career. So what's the risk? Well, the Lakers haven't overcommit. It's a 2-year deal with a player option. If things don't work out, they can move on. But if Ayton turns the corner, they'll have one of the most underpaid bigs in the league, at least for one season. This is a low-risk, high-reward situation. And the stakes couldn't be higher. The Lakers are trying to stay relevant. They're trying to win now and plan for the future. And with names like Doncic and possibly LeBron in the mix, the pressure to deliver is massive. DeAndre Ayton's reputation is on the line. The Lakers' front office is under the microscope. And fans are watching, wondering if this move is a spark, or just smoke. Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, all eyes are now on DeAndre Aton. And Los Angeles just became the center of the NBA conversation once again. The Lakers still lack depth on the wing. They still need another reliable center. And they need defensive presence on the perimeter. These issues have been clear since the start of the offseason. In fact, Pelinka himself admitted that improving the team's wing depth would be one of their top priorities this summer. Now, with limited flexibility in free agency, the Lakers may have to shift their focus to the trade market. And that's where the name Andrew Wiggins has come into play. Yes, that Andrew Wiggins. The one-time All-Star. The athletic wing with championship experience. The veteran who helped the Golden State Warriors win a title just a couple of seasons ago. Now with the Miami Heat, Wiggins could be on the move again, but the asking price is turning heads across the league. According to Lakers insider Jovan Buha, the Heat are placing a steep value on Wiggins in trade discussions. Here's what Buha reported. From everything I've heard, the Heat want the Lakers' 2031 first-round pick, plus Dalton Knecht and Rui Hachimura. That's a big ask. Especially considering that Wiggins, while solid, isn't exactly a superstar anymore. And Miami's goal seems to be staying competitive, which is why they're pushing for Rui, who they view as a strong piece compared to guys like Gabe Vincent or Max Christie. Now let's break that down. The 2031 first-round pick is currently the only tradable first the Lakers have, due to prior trade protections. Giving that up alone would be significant. But when you add in Dalton Knecht, the team's exciting rookie, and Rui Hachimura, a dependable two-way forward who's still improving. That's a serious haul for a player who, while valuable, isn't a guaranteed game-changer. Wiggins is coming off a decent season. He played 60 games, splitting time between the Golden State Warriors and the Miami Heat. He averaged 18 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 2.6 assists, while shooting 37.4% from three-point range. Those are solid numbers, respectable for a wing in today's NBA. He can defend multiple positions. He can hit threes. He's a good playoff performer. But is he worth that kind of return? That's the real question. The Lakers have made it clear, they value Rui Hachimura. He's still young, he fits well alongside LeBron, and he's shown growth year after year. And Knecht. He's one of the most promising young wings in this year's rookie class. Giving up both, plus a future first, would be a lot, too much, in the eyes of many analysts. And here's the other part, Wiggins isn't on a cheap deal. Taking on his contract would limit the Lakers' flexibility in future seasons, unless he immediately becomes a top-tier contributor. So what's next? If the Heat lower their asking price, there may still be a path to a deal. Maybe a package centered around role players and that lone first-round pick. But as it stands, it's hard to imagine the Lakers going all in for a player who's more of a complementary piece than a cornerstone. Meanwhile, the Lakers are already working to address their wing depth in other ways. Jake Laravia, who was recently signed to a 2-year deal, brings size, youth, and versatility. The 23-year-old is excited to join the franchise, sharing his enthusiasm on social media shortly after the deal became official. Now, Laravia isn't expected to be a star overnight. But he could become a valuable role player who gives the Lakers depth at the forward position, something they desperately need. Still, if the Lakers are going to chase a championship in the next year or two, they'll need more than just upside. They'll need contributors. And they'll need to be smart with their assets. That's why this Wiggins situation matters. The Lakers can't afford to overpay. They only have so many trade chips left, and those assets have to be used carefully. Mortgaging the future for a good, but not elite, player? That's a gamble Rob Pelinka seems unwilling to take, at least for now. But this off-season isn't over. Moves are still coming. Calls are still being made. And if Miami comes back with a more reasonable offer? Don't be surprised if LA revisits those talks. Until then, expect the Lakers to stay patient, to stay aggressive, and to look for value, not desperation. Because in today's NBA, it's not just about making a move, it's about making the right move.